Hi, this is Pat Fraley, purveyor of Doc Doug and villain voices, and you're watching Altered Geek.
Hello, geeks! This is Steve Megatron Phillips, and I am the Altered Geek. From Altered Geek Unlimited, I am from the GeekCast radio network, and I figured with the recent revival of my YouTube channel of Altered Geek Entertainment, because I kind of split it off from my separate, my personal account of YouTube, because I'm kind of keeping that more for family and some of the schooling stuff that I'm doing. That, and it's not monetizational. So with the intention of eventually maybe getting there, but I don't have a clue either way. Anyways, I am Steve Megatron Phillips. For those that don't know, I've been around on the internet for the better part of like maybe it's getting close to almost 20 years now, which is kind of nuts. I've had internet, actually it is 20 years. Holy crap. Yeah, I've had an internet since 1996. The internet ramp, dial-up. So I figured I'd do this like kind of impromptu, kind of 10 minutes, kind of get to know me kind of status. Kind of unedited, just kind of, you know, fun. I'll throw an intro, outro thing on the end, but I'm not going to edit it. So whatever kind of flies and happens and kind of messes up in this recording, that's just going to happen. So my initial thoughts for this were, I've seen a couple of these floating around, and I just decided it would be kind of fun to do. So I've been a geek as long as I can remember, and some of this, if you're a GeekCast radio fan, you'll know some of this from some of the various podcasts, but it's all kind of collectively in one. I've been a geek since I was probably 3 or 4 years old. First toys, kind of Ninja Turtles, Batman. I got a lot of the comics, you know, so I was in the animated series, in the Batman Returns verse. The TMNT, Star Trek was heavy in my household. So those have all been staples of my childhood. And then kind of later on, like towards the end of the 90s, I got into Transformers. And still was kind of a little bit into Star Trek and somewhat Batman and somewhat Turtles. But it's kind of come and gone. All of it's kind of come full circle. But I'm primarily a Batman fan now. It kind of fluctuates like from time to time depending on what's hot right now in pop culture. So that being said, that was some of my early childhood. My first internet experience was in '96. My first computer was a 486 DX266, and then it was upgraded to a DX4 100, which for those of you that don't know, it's pre-Pentium. I have owned a 286. I'm sorry, I'm rubbing my face. Allergies are very rampant right now. Just got home. It's just got out of work. So yeah. So I had a DX4 100. Had 32 megabytes of RAM, a 4X. It was a quad CD drive. Yeah, it was a quad CD drive. It had an 8.5, or it had a 3.25 floppy, or no, 3.5 and 5.25 floppy drives in them, and it had a 800 megabyte hard drive and a 400 megabyte hard drive. As you can see, it's getting hard to kind of ramble some of the old stuff off with what I have now, which by comparison, I have a Pentium i3 3 gigahertz processor, 3.2. I have 12 gigs of RAM. I have a 256, I have a 120 gigabyte regular hard drive. I have a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and then I have a 120 gigabyte solid state drive, and a CD DVD burner, and a memory card reader, which replaced the floppy. So yeah, a lot of it's a little bit different, but it's yeah. And I have a dual monitor setup, which is kind of nice. So yeah, that kind of took me through part of that. I messed with my first website building it in 1998. Optimus Primal's Maximal Central, or something along those lines. And then I did Transformers websites for a good period of time until about 2004 when I kind of created Predacon Empire in early 2005. And then it kind of took me up until the time that I created GeekCast Radio. But Predacon Empire started as Optimus Primal's Maximal Central, which was a take on somebody else's website, Maximal Central. And then I kind of took the idea and ran with it, made an emulator site, made, all different kinds of websites, kind of played around. my graphics, I go back and look at them now, they're atrocious. Maybe I'll go back and we'll put like side by side what I made back then, and then I can critique it. Be something fun to do. So yeah, I did a lot of that stuff. I started doing my general voice acting stuff just for fun on TFCog and Voice Acting Alliance in 2005. So I got my first kind of play with microphone and pardon me, playing the voice of Scourge on the Transformers Headmasters fan dub, and then I'm still playing the part. It just, as it progresses little by little over the years, and it got rebooted at one point, so they had to redo all the lines because we got to like episode 4 and then we started over. So we're on episode 8 now, and I'm still playing the role, so that's kind of cool. Haven't been doing as much voiceover stuff as I would have liked, but I still do it occasionally. I do a lot of Transformers voices. They won't escape alive. That's like my Scourge kind of play on the Season 3 version of Scourge before he went Season 4. And Almighty Galvatron. So I do that, and then Spinator does not understand. So, and I do a lot of Beast Wars. Oh yes, insolent bug. Megatron, terrorize! Oh yes. That's another one I loved doing. Along with the Joker. My dearly departed Dark Knight escapes first. So yeah, I enjoy a lot of voiceover stuff. I play a lot of video games. My first video game I remember playing was Monuments of Mars, which was a DOS-based game. And if you died on any level, you started completely over, which was horrid. Which makes it insanely difficult to get things right. And so I have like this OCD now that when I play a game, if I don't hit a certain score or a certain quota by a certain point in the game, I start over automatically because I feel like I failed. And that's with any game, I feel like that. Now I've kind of graduated. Like I've played Diablo 2, I've played Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, a lot of the Command & Conquer games over the years, StarCraft, Diablo. I've tried playing Warcraft, World of Warcraft, can't get into it. Liked Warcraft, but it was so much like StarCraft, I just went for the sci-fi version. I played some old Star Trek games, played Doom, played Heretic, I've played Duke Nukem 3D, I've played a lot of first-person shooters. The original Unreal Tournament I really love. Still playing Unreal Tournament every time the game comes out. There's a current one right now that's in beta on Unreal's engine that you can actually download for free and play. Very high-paced, much like the new Doom and all that kind of stuff, so it's very relevant now. But it's much like the old Unreal. That was pretty fast, too. And then I'm a heavy Battlefield 4 player now. I play on Xbox and my PC for fun. So you can actually catch some of my Battlefield 4 plays in my playlist of Altered Gaming, which is what I call it on here, because I also do Altered Geek Unlimited, which is a podcast on GeekCast Radio or Blog Talk Radio or Stitcher. You can pretty much find it on anything. It's on Google Play now, too. So I do plan on bringing some top 10s to this channel. I do plan on doing some like top 5, some like maybe movie reviews, some character impressions. I'm doing a little bit of streaming, just kind of playing around with it. It's not really, I'm not trying to monetize or anything. I'm just having fun playing the game anyway. So I figure I might as well record like a kind of a podcast with it and have fun with it. And if people want to do Q&A with me on the line while I'm doing it, that's awesome. And I plan on doing more kind of like Google, like YouTube live streams as far as like podcasts too in the future. So be sure to look for that. You can also check some of my other channels. I do another channel, SCP-21 Studios, which is, or SCP-21 Studios Online. I'll put the episode or the channel link in there, but it's for my kind of business side, school stuff, like short films or films in general, or some of my various things. I just made a kind of a reel of content on there as well. If there's anything you guys want to know about me, just go ahead and then comment in the section below. Maybe I'll do a follow-up of this. For instance, like, I know a lot about WordPress. I know a lot about, like, Adobe products. I know a lot about tech. I'm getting to know a lot about gaming. I'm not an expert by any means whatsoever. If it's a game I've played, I know a lot about it because I play them until they wear out for the most part, or they're not relevant anymore. Like, I still play Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 on all my PCs. And I still play, like, the Arkham games on the Xbox occasionally, although I've been playing Battlefield 4 lately. I'm heavy into Super Smash Brothers. So, I mean, I do a lot of different things. I love movies. I screenwrite. I've been doing a series called Altered Generations, which I wrote for my screenwriting class, but I had it planned before when I did the this pop culture and its influence, or its comics and its influence on pop culture. It's a edx.org Smithsonian class. It's online. And it's like $50. They're on their 4th rendition of the class now. So, yeah, just be sure to check that out. Really cool class. I got 2 certifications in it. I'll actually be in one of their books at some point for the second course. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a lot about me in a nutshell. Favorite color's red. Favorite number's 21, which is why I have SCP-21 all over the internet. You can get a hold of me on Twitter at SCP-21 or at Altered Geek. Either one, I will respond. SCP-21 is probably the easiest one. I'm pretty heavy usage on Twitter over Facebook. I'm not a huge Facebook fan. I check it, but I don't participate much on it other than hitting like or like looking at something that interests me. Twitter is my big go-to area. So, yeah, if there's anything you guys want to know, just let me know in the comments below. And looking forward to hearing from you guys. And I think it was a little fun doing this. I mean, you just let me know. And till next time, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geek. Bye.